moved into this house and have been making improvements in it ever since.
He's a hunk. He's my tall guy. He gets things out of the shelves for me. Everything's good about it.
I have built a guest house, planted an orange grove. I have one of the largest supplies of firewood in the area. No tree has a chance against me. I've circled the sun for 90 years. I have no intention of slowing down. I was born in Marion, Ohio in 1922. When I was young, my real love was a little wagon that I called Dan Patch, which was named after a famous racehorse at that time. I went to California on a vacation, and my folks let me stay with my grandparents in Ventura for the following year. My granddad was quite a fisherman. You have a picture of my granddad catching a 400-pound jewfish. It was a big one. Got a job in the local bakery, and I used the money to buy a .22 single-shot rifle, and I would go down and shoot rats. And I got quite a reputation of being a rat killer. One time when I was driving, I saw two sets of headlights coming down this two-lane road, and just to keep from hitting him head on, I put the car in the ditch. And the car turned sideways and flipped over upside down and skidded along a row of oak trees. I traded that car in on a new Pontiac Streamliner, which I loved. It was a beautiful car. When Roosevelt asked Congress to declare war on Japan, I enlisted in the Air Force. I got my transitional training in Liberators, B-24s, and picked up my crew. I completed 12 pretty hectic missions in Kwajalein, Guam, Saipan, and finally Okinawa. I grew up in the service. Being a pilot was a high point in my life. When I got out of the service, I got into the automotive design business. I worked at Tucker. He was going to save money and that there would be no transmission. And we asked him, how are you going to back it up? And he said, 60% of all accidents happen when people are backing up, and I'm going to eliminate them. And we all laughed and slapped our knees and looked at him, and he was serious. Finally, the program went on the rocks, and it came as no surprise that the car was not going to make it. I worked with Iacocca on the first Mustang. One of the vice presidents stood up and said, I want to go on record as saying the Mustang will never be successful. And Iacocca stood up and said, if it is not a terrific success, fire me. We sold 375,000 cars the first year. I've spent 24 years with Ford. In 1988, I had lived in Maine and hated the winters. So I picked up and moved back to Ventura. I was playing in a bridge match and met Marvel Cheek. I kept telling her she should get a younger man, that she shouldn't tie herself to an old goat like me. We got got married at the Ojai Presbyterian Church. Everyone we knew were there. It was one hell of a party. Marvel and I have lived together for 22 years. They were the happiest years in my life. And now, let's look forward to our next party when I will have completed 100 trips around the sun.